Welcome to this hour's international news. Let's hear the headlines first. Trump could have seen what was coming behind Trump's failure on the virus. US suffers record death toll. UK minister apologizes for frontline protective equipment failings. Virus can travel up to 13 feet, says report. India to extend a nationwide lockdown to tackle coronavirus. And criminal justice systems struggle to deal with COVID-19. These were the headlines. Let's jump into A week after the first coronavirus case had been identified in the United States, and 6 long weeks before President Donald Trump finally took aggressive action to confront the danger, the nation was facing a pandemic that is now forecasting to take the tens of thousands of American lives. Maker was urging the upper ranks of the nation's public health bureaucracy to wake up and prepare for the possible far more drastic action. You guys made fun of me screaming to close the schools, he wrote to the group, which called itself Red Dawn, an inside joke based on the 1984 movie about a band of Americans trying to save the country after a foreign invasion. Now I'm screaming, close the colleges and universities. His was hardly a lone voice, thought out throughout the January as Trump repeatedly played down the seriousness of the virus and focused on their issues. An array of figures inside his government, from top White House advisors to experts deep in the cabinet departments and intelligence agencies. The United States became the first country to report more than 2,000 coronavirus deaths in a single day, making a grim milestone as billions around the world celebrated the Easter holiday weekend under lockdown from home. The global death toll from the virus surged past 103,000 on Friday, with the United States quickly becoming the epicenter of the pandemic that first emerged in China last year. Europe has so far shouldered the majority of all deaths and infections, though there were signs of hope and curve could be starting to flatten in some of the hardest hit countries. On Friday, the United States reported 2,108 new deaths, the highest daily toll out of any country since the outbreak was first reported in the central Chinese city of Wuhan in December. Britain's Interior Minister said on Saturday she was sorry if health workers felt there had been failing to get personal protective equipment (PPE) to the front line. Doctors and nurses have complained that there have been PPE shortages for frontline staff, and when asked directly if she would apologize for this, Home Secretary Priti Patel said, "I am sorry if people feel there have been failings. It is inevitable that the demand on pressure on PPE and the demand for PPE are going to be exponential. They are going to be incredibly high," she said. Britain's COVID-19 death toll neared 10,000 on Saturday after health officials reported another 917 hospital deaths. While one senior minister said Prime Minister Boris Johnson will need time off as he recovers from being seriously ill with the virus. A new study examining air samples from hospitals wards with COVID-19 patients has found the virus can travel up to 13 feet, twice the distance current guidelines say people should leave between themselves in public. The preliminary results of the investigation by Chinese researchers were published Friday in Emerging Infectious Diseases, a journal of the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. They add to a growing debate on how the disease is transmitted, with the scientists themselves cautioning that the small quantities of virus they found and this distance are not necessarily infectious. The researchers, led by a team at the Academy of Military Medical Sciences in Beijing, tested surface and air samples from an intensive care unit at General COVID-19 ward of Houston Hospital in Wuhan. They housed a total of 24 patients. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has decided to extend a nationwide lockdown to tackle the spread of coronavirus. The Chief Minister of Delhi stated on Saturday without disclosing how long the extension would be for. Earlier in the day, Modi had a video conference call with several state ministers to decide on the future course as the current 21-day lockdown ends on Tuesday. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal said Modi had taken a correct decision to extend the lockdown, but did not give further details. Today, India's position is better than many developed countries because we started lockdown early. If it is stopped now, all gains would be lost, Kejriwal said on Twitter. The number of coronavirus infections in India rose up 7,447 on Saturday, with the capital city New Delhi and financial hub Mumbai first emerging as hotspots. There have been 239 deaths. The COVID-19 pandemic is causing an unpredictable situation crisis for some European criminal justice systems as officials try to deal with a host of unforeseen problems. Courts, lawyers, and prison officials from Belfast to Warsaw are trying to adapt systems that protect society but are tracking under the strain of the new coronavirus. Many countries have taken similar approaches to deal with the crisis. Austria, Britain, Germany, and Poland are among those that have postponed trials, with London halting new jury cases because of social distancing restrictions. The COVID-19 outbreak presents an unprecedented crisis for the criminal justice systems in the UK, said a National Police Chiefs Council department published on April 2nd.